What's up, everyone? You're tuned into the channel EEPS episode 163. And today, I want to touch upon how the world, in a way, or the system, has kind of set us up to fail. You know? Have you ever wondered why the prices continue to go up? Even public transit. I remember back in the day, I had this ticket, one ride cost about $1.50, $1.60, and today is over $4. So I thought I'd just do a little bit of a entrepreneurial rant, at least from my perspective. Us creators and artists were never taught about being financially literate, right? We went to school. Actually, I dare say, you know, schools in general, no matter what field you're in. They teach you how to do a particular, you choose a field, you major in the field, maybe you minor at something, and you continue, you get your paper, and then if you decide to do a master's, well, we got another package for you. You can pay and be an expert by spending a couple more years. And if you're even more indulging, you could do a PhD. But I honestly felt that it's like the system gaming all of us. You know what I mean? Like they're making hand over fist money. And look, if you've been like living under a rock, you hear many stories of student debt, and the student has to pay interest. It's got, like, for me, I'm fortunate and I'm very grateful that I was able to pay off my debt when I was in school. But it's just like incredulous to think that there's interest on student tuition. Like in this day and age, I do wonder, like, could it be possible that all the money that you put in could be put on a down payment on a property? I just think that today, like the notion of a career or a job or education has completely transformed. Like the past notions of jobs was pretty much a resultant from the Industrial Revolution. It's dated. It's a dinosaur. It's legacy. It's old. It's like it does not have any relevance in today's day and age. Okay, and we're this day and age is like we're engaged with computers, technology, mobile devices. You have the digital nomads that go from place to place. So as long as you have a Wi-Fi, like the definition of work has completely changed. Okay, even the art industry, the definition of art has transformed. No longer is it just pencils, papers, acrylics, oils, right? Who are we kidding that all these things are, has to be within the confines of an ivory tower and on a wall to be appreciated for the tastemakers of our high elite society? No. Technology and our engagement with tools has democratized and decentralized people to use whatever means and to call whatever means and to find whatever means for them as their creative outlet. I hope that made sense. So I really believe that this day and age, sure, education does provide a foundation, but I dare say majority is really up to the individual to be proactive, to do their own research, to continue their craft, and not be sidelined or disrupted by the peripheral noise that dictates, oh, this is what is constitutes as a fine artist, right? Oh, you need to have a bachelor's, a BFA, have a solo show, MFA, solo show, in order to be seen in the eyes of galleries, commercial galleries, or what have you. That is no longer the case, I believe. Today, we have the tools to define what we feel is our creative outlet, as I mentioned earlier. And being agile and being able to pivot, being multidisciplinary is, I don't think it's a new normal, but I think for a lot of people it is, but it's just the way it is now. But what is the problem is the dated educational system has clearly not caught up with the current state of the art. No. I dare say that it hasn't even caught up to just digital transformation in general. Meanwhile, technology continues to exponentially grow and rise. Of course, the word we all hear on the news, artificial intelligence, AI, blockchain, quantum. Nothing's stopping this train. It's going to keep on continue to go. And meanwhile, even the institution hasn't really pivoted. I know this. Not just schools, but institutions at large, especially the cultural institutions. They need to pivot hard and fast. And I want to also say that we need to really examine the education system, because financial literacy is extremely important today. Extremely. Like, I walk out and I'm seeing what used to be a condo that's being built. You would assume, yeah, it's property, it's for sale. But no, everything's for rent now. It's a renter's market. It's a buy now, pay later market. And I've heard stories where people would use that to buy their necessities like groceries. Like, whoa, yo, that red flags all over the place. So, yeah, we need to re-examine. Times have clearly changed. And as a result, you look around, people are protesting, they're fed up, they're angry, they're miserable, they have anxiety. So I just thought I want to just let it out there, because in my world, I was always volatile. People didn't get me at the beginning. Like, this guy's all over the place. But it's just, I embraced my medium, my digital technology. I embraced that. I never believed that an artist is necessarily defined as one singular style or medium, right? Diversification, exploring new areas to engage, to create, using new tools. That's, for me, I enjoyed that, but it always pushed against the grain of the traditionalists who just didn't get it. But it appears that they are starting to realize, yeah, we better see what's going on in EEPMON's side, because he seems to be doing something that's a 180 from the rest of us. So I just want to let that out there, because I just been, either I'm absorbing too much of the YouTube algorithm of like doom and gloom, but I really believe it's what it is. You just look at the markets, you look at the economy, the world economy. It's not just here in Canada. It's also in the U.S. It's also in Japan. It's also in like China, like the Europe. Like the economy, the entire infrastructure of the economy is not living up to what our expectations are, because of the way the system was built, the way the institutions are built. But at some point, the cracks are revealing, and I think the cracks are pretty big, to the point that it could potentially be too late. So instead of putting band-aids for short-term recovery, we really need to gut out, or basically just look at the structure and face our fears. We got to face it head on, the issues that are at play, and what the current system is, as is, and seeing whether or not it's sustainable. Is it sustainable? I'll leave you up for you to decide. But anyway, I thought I'd rant about that. My apologies. I didn't think I'd be really talking that much. But yeah, there's so much. I got so much in my mind about these sort of things. Um, Sometimes I ask about how the hell did I? How am I still here? Like how am I still doing art? It's a whirlwind. It's a volatile world. In a good way though. If you know how to embrace it, um, and and understand the nuances of how the system works, which I believe is why that has a lot to do with financial literacy. I think the entrepreneurship and financial literacy needs to be somehow instilled in our education system since like like during grade school, literally. We don't. We don't. We're only taught how to. Here are the different categories: chemistry, biology, mathematics, blah 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 blah. Like, huh? And then they come out, may get a major in the field of, like, I don't know, some derivative from the chemistry route if you're into that world. Um, but that's the nature of the beast, I guess, right? As we have systems, and systems need people to be placed in these systems to prop up the juggernaut world economy as we know it. But the reason why I can see this, the reason why I can assess this, because I'm an artist, and my fellow artists who are watching this, I would think that you will resonate in what I'm saying. Because we artists, we have the hardest gigs in the game. We don't fit in any category, right? We don't. So I also believe that we should not fit in any category within the art world itself. So yeah, we need to navigate and learn how to pivot and be agile and collaborate. It is so key in this day and age. Anyway, I'm gonna rant. I don't know if anyone's gonna watch this, as I don't get much views anyway. But I felt that me being 20 years in the industry, in the creative industry, is just my thoughts, my take, and so be it. Thank you very much. This is Channel Eves, episode 163, and I'll talk to you soon. I'm going to Japan tomorrow. More on that later. Bye bye.